Hey there, it's John, host of Gen X Grown Up. Are you like countless others?
Just read it, please.
All right. Are you like countless others and miss me as soon as an episode ends? Listen to me on 1980s Now, where I chat about 80s pop culture and its influence today. It's available on the very podcast platform you're listening to me on right now.
Thank you.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Skims or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Allbirds uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/income.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back, Gen X Grown Up Podcast listeners, to this rewind edition of the Gen X Grown Up Podcast. I'm John. Joining me here, of course, are my buddies George and Mo. Hey, guys.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Yeah, good. So, every once in a while, we have a scheduling conflict, and this time it's because we're headed out to the New York Toy Fair. We don't want to leave you without an episode. So in this case, what we'll do is we'll pull one of our favorite backtracks out of the archives and talk a little bit about it here and represent it to you, kind of in some context. And the one I want to share with you for this episode comes from, May 28th, 2020. Look, this was like pre-apocalypse, before the pandemic happened. We talked about the TV show That's Incredible.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Cathy Lee and
Yeah.
Fran Tarkenton, people like
Fran
that.
Tarkenton.
Yeah.
That's right, Fran Tarkenton was the host of that one, right?
This was a series that was just on regular primetime TV.
Yeah.
That it was full of like people eating. I remember we talked about people eating bicycles in pieces and people doing contortions and Rubik's Cube jugglers and stuff like that. I barely, 2020 feels like forever ago. I barely remember this.
Yeah.
I don't remember doing this podcast at all.
Should we listen to it again and see what we said?
I guess I'll have something to listen to on the plane, because I don't remember.
It'll be new to you then. You can enjoy it.
Right? Was I even on the podcast? Are you sure?
No, you were there. I checked. You were there.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, fourth listener, maybe you forgot it too. So we present to you from May of 2020, our backtrack on That's Incredible.
That's incredible.
No life, no fun. Don't you know that you're a grown up?
Gen X Grown Up is a YouTube channel, website, and audio podcast you're listening to right now. All made for and by people who love exploring media, games, tech, and toys of yesterday and today through the eyes of Gen Xers who refuse to grow up.
Your dinner cannot just be french fries. Basically, life sucks as a grown up.
Welcome back, Gen X Grown Up Podcast listeners, to this backtrack edition of the Gen X Grown Up Podcast. I'm John. Joining me, as always, is George.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
And you know Mo is here.
Hey, everybody.
In this episode, if you remember Fran, John, and Cathy Lee warning you not to try this at home, then you're probably going to enjoy our look back at the early 80s TV variety show, That's Incredible.
That's incredible. Sorry. I was trying to sound like a crowd of people saying it at one time.
It worked. It totally worked. You know what's even more incredible, though, than That's Incredible? Is our
What?
fourth listeners.
Yes.
Oh, nice segue, sir. Well
I did my best.
done.
I did my
Oh,
best.
nice. Yeah.
Wow, I thought for sure you'd go, oh, and groan. Thank you for that.
No, they're fourth listeners, man. We got to pander.
Our fourth listener email this episode is from Stu Monkey, and the subject
Hey,
line of his
Stu.
email was Star Wars debate.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, no.
I did
yeah.
something wrong again, apparently.
All right, George,
I don't know.
brace yourself.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Here we go.
Okay.
Stu Monkey writes in to say, Yo, John, only one comment to George. That Ewoks are the My Little Ponies of the Star Wars series? WTF? Not no, but hell fucking no.
I'm sorry, Stu Monkey. I was just trying to win.
You know, that's to the point. Yep. He winds it up and says, that is all. May the fourth listener be with you, Stu Monkey.
Stu Monkey, I think it was succinct and to the point. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. You really just got
Probably
your
should
point
have had
across.
Stu Monkey doing the arguments instead of
Doing
me.
the
Apparently
debate.
he's better at the debates than I am.
Now, he does have a PS.
Oh, okay.
He actually says, PS, great episode. Please do more debates. Similarly on other topics.
Oh.
This is one of my favorites to date.
Oh, thank you.
Really?
I've
That
heard
could
good
be
feedback
fun.
on the debates. Yeah, I've heard several
Okay.
people
Well,
say
we
they
have
enjoyed
plenty
that.
of things to debate about.
We have no limit to argument. We can
We have no
argue
trouble
anything
arguing.
anywhere.
Actually, I was thinking of a good one for future one is I'll moderate. You two guys can debate some Star Trek stuff.
Yeah, you mentioned that. in
We
that
alluded
one.
to that possibly. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that
Because
happening.
you two are like, I mean, I love Star Trek, but you two are like the next level for me.
You
on
know
that.
what's going to be difficult in that one is that we both have similar viewpoints of Star Trek.
Yeah,
because
it's
we were in that group so far. So
Oh, true.
taking the opposite for one of
But
us
you know,
is
there was some tension there. Come on, there had to be
well,
some
they'll
tension
definitely.
there.
Star Trek 3 alone is gonna drive the
There's
debate.
nothing wrong with the search for Spock.
Okay, anyway.
Anyway, yes. Thank you, Stu Monkey, for writing in. Thank you for pointing out that George was wrong. We love when the fourth listeners write in to let us know that George was wrong.
Who's we, white man? We
or
don't
anything
love all
else.
of this.
If you would like your email featured here on the show, you can just hit us up at podcast@genxgrownup.com. We read every single one of them, and most of them make the show. All right, with that good business behind us, let's move into our look at That's Incredible right after this.
Tonight, you'll see the remarkable story of this haunting crystal skull. It's more than 12,000 years old and was once worshipped by the Mayas. There are many who believe it still has magical powers. I'm Fran. Dinosaurs have been extinct for millions of years, but the great-great-grandsons of those reptiles still walk the earth in search of prey. You'll be meeting one tonight on our stage.
I'm Cathy Lee. John Kazian is a professional stuntman. Tonight, John will climb from a speeding car to a ladder dangling from an airplane. The plane will crash him through a wall of fire.
All this and more tonight on
That's Incredible.
In this episode, we're looking back on That's Incredible, which was...
I can't help it.
You sound
still
just like
doing
a
it.
crowd. Good job. It's hard to not do that when you hear it because they always. So That's Incredible was an American reality TV show. It aired on ABC from 1980 to 1984 on Sunday nights.
Really? Started in 1980. For some reason, I had in my brain that it started even earlier than that, like 78 or something. But
It
wow.
has that feeling though. It does. It's such early 80s that it has the wide collars and the bell bottoms and all that stuff. Still,
and the
it's definitely
yellow
that era.
set, like the whole beige, like wall-to-wall.
It looked like the
carpeting
Price
kind
is
of thing.
Right set all the time. Yeah. Like big curved set pieces and lights
Right.
running on them.
And lots of hair.
Oh,
Lots
yeah.
of hair.
Lots
Yeah.
of hair.
Big hair was huge. It featured people doing stunts or paranormal events, or I saw a good analogy out there that somebody said it was like a mashup of Ripley's Believe It or Not and Real People.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was.
Yeah.
Because some of
That's
the
good.
stuff was definitely like, questionable.
I remember one of the ones that's the biggest in my memory is like, it's not that somebody was doing this incredible, amazing stunt. It was this weird, gross out kind of thing they were doing that now you see it all the time. But back
Like
then
a
it was
bug eating
oh.
or something nutty
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it was always something like that. Yep. When I look back now on That's Incredible, so many of the segments on there, they remind me of, remember David Letterman would do stupid human tricks?
Oh, yeah, of
all the
course.
time?
Yep.
It was like that, except not making fun of the people.
Right.
If David Letterman, if you had a guy who could, I don't know, he could juggle ping pong balls with his mouth or something. That would be a stupid human trick, and you would mock him on David Letterman.
Right.
On That's Incredible, they're like, you won't believe the next segment. This guy can jump. And it was like he was an athlete, and they were revering him. They took it super seriously. And because it was Sunday nights, I always enjoyed, it was the last thing before we went back to school.
Yeah.
And so it was an hour-long variety show, paranormal every once in a while. There's a ghost story, or there's so many things like that.
It was almost like the show, though, didn't actually, like, they didn't know what was their actual theme, because they would put pretty much anything on.
Anything. That's right.
They had no theme. Yeah, the
they would
theme
throw
was
things against the wall. Yeah.
Here's a man who could paint with his toes or whatever. I mean, it's just
You're exactly right. That's the kind of thing. It always had people with unusual talents was huge. So do you remember the Micro Machines guy, the speed talker?
Oh, absolutely.
He first appeared on there.
Yeah.
And I remember that.
That was his first national television appearance. It was on that show.
And then he went to like do God knows how many commercials, and like
he became the commercial guy for a long time. Yeah.
John Machida Jr. is his name.
Yep.
Yeah, he was on there. And on top of like people doing stuff, sometimes it wasn't just a person, they would do some breakthrough about scientific discoveries or medical or technological breakthroughs. The taser made an appearance on there when it first came out.
Oh, wow.
Don't tase me, bro. The taser, right? That, as a non-lethal thing. And when they did it on there, it wasn't like, look, we made a taser, it can shock people. It was like, you won't believe this revolutionary new technology that's non-lethal and for law enforcement. They really set it up as this huge piece.
Yeah.
Well, and the nice thing about it too was that it attracted more than just one segment of the viewing audience. What I remember the most about the show was that it was one of those shows where all the members of my family, my mother, myself, my father, we could all sit down on a Sunday evening and watch this show together. It became almost an 80s replacement for us for the Walt Disney Movie of the Week kind of thing that was always happening that we when I was a kid that we watched. We kind of, as I grew older and evolved, got a little bit smarter and a little bit more world aware, then we started watching this show because this was something that still they could enjoy and be interested in. But
sure, of course,
I was older now and could understand it and be interested in it with them.
I remember from my family watching, it was more along the lines of my dad hated the show.
No. Well, your dad was so practical, right?
Yeah,
and this was just so much fluff.
He's like, here's a man who could do this. He's like, okay, so
I am so unimpressed.
That's like a totally useless ability to have, but okay. But every now and then it'd be a segment that would come on, and he, despite himself, he would be like interested in it. Every now and then they had a little nugget that I think kept him watching it, even though he hated the show. Yeah,
there were a lot of stunts that would show. So people could do amazing things, like they, I don't know, they can sword swallow or whatever. But stunts were very often knife juggling.
Yeah.
There was a guy, I vividly remember this guy who squeezed himself into a clear box.
Yeah,
and
that
he
was
stayed in it
people
for like the whole show. He stayed in
he
this
did it
thing
at the beginning and didn't come out to the end of the show.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
And they even had what now is a magic trick, which I hope to God this was a magic. It had to be. They had a guy catch a bullet in his teeth.
Yeah.
Well, it was the guy who did it. Like, he didn't catch it in his teeth. I remember that segment. He had a metal box that he clamped in it, like he bit down on, and the
not his teeth, in his mouth. Right.
Yeah. In his mouth. Yes.
Yeah, I remember that one too. Every one of these you mentioned, now they're coming back to me. I'm remembering them.
Right.
That one I remember because that had a long burn up. Like they talked about at the beginning of the show, then they showed it, then they went to something else, and they came back to it, and then
checked
finally,
on him.
Yeah,
like,
are you
still breathing?
Prepared?
Nope.
Yeah, for some reason I have like this memory in my head. It's probably not real, but like that the bullet clipped his lip or something, and he was bleeding from it or something.
I don't remember that part.
That was probably showboating. He probably bit his lip just to showboat.
It'll catch
Makes it look more dangerous.
And he's a spit out. Oh my god!
Right.
But he's talking about how like dangerous some of these stunts were. That was the thing that was just the most hilarious about the show, was like the PSA announcement always, don't try this yourself, or don't try this at home.
They would always do that, and they would very serious, right? They were they were talking to you, and listen, audience, don't try this yourself. Whatever you do, don't try this at home.
It would be like a one shot, like just a headshot, just serious at the camera.
I wonder if that was the genesis of that thing, because now you look at all these shows like Ridiculousness on MTV, and that's like at the very beginning of all these shows. Don't do this at home. We won't accept your video submissions of you killing yourself, all that kind of. I wonder if this was the first time that kind of thing got said on TV.
Well, you got it. Every time you hear a warning like this, there's always a story behind it. So you got to think that somebody tried to mimic
somewhere.
That's incredible.
Sure.
Every time you buy a new toaster and there's a sticker that says "Do not toast bread in the shower," that means somebody did. Somebody tried. So I'm sure That's Incredible started doing that because somebody tried to put themselves in a box or catch a bullet in their teeth or whatever.
Yeah, it said it was their fault.
Well, now it's not our fault because we told you don't do it.
We told you don't do it. Yeah.
And Mo, several times you have absolutely reminisced on the fact that the hosts would always come out and they would say, "Oh, here on the show, blah, blah, blah." And at the end of every segment, they would say, "That's incredible." And the entire audience would say it together. So I don't think there's any better way to end this segment than to everyone do this together. You ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1. That's incredible.
Every act of change begins with a neighbor, with someone saying,
"We take care of each other here."
In food banks and food pantries, neighbors pack fresh food and dignity into every box, moving food from farms to families through Feeding America's nationwide network. So when that box reaches a home, it carries more than food. It carries a promise that together we can end hunger. Feeding America, led by neighbors. Give now to end hunger at feedingamerica.org.
Marvel Television's Wonder Man, an 8-episode series, now streaming on Disney+.
A superhero remake, not exactly what we'd expect from an Oscar-winning director.
Action! Simon Williams, audition for Wonder Man.
I'm gonna need you to sign this, assuming you don't have superpowers.
I'll never work again if anyone found out.
My lips are sealed.
Marvel Television's Wonder Man. All 8 episodes now streaming, only on Disney+.
On your mark, get set, talk. Friend, you are closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge. You are not aware the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Where you get trouble, my friends, right here. Say Trevor at University. Why should mobility play? Certainly might have per se. Most might have per se. I consider that there was a spill in the queue in my hand, a golden help, a cultivate horse, and some cool and keen. I've ever taken charge, find the right lead for yourself from a real big shot. But just as I say, take judgment brings maturity. Scoring a book on game. I say that any move can take and shove any ball in any pocket and call. That's walk the first big step on the road to the depths of the say first is a little amateur, just a wiper, but teaspoon, then beer for model. The next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pitch back suit.
Well, let's go ahead. We've talked about what the show was. Let's talk about who hosted the show, because I think that may be just as an important feature of the show as much as anything was.
Well, the 3-host format.
There were 3-host format.
Was cool.
Yeah, I hadn't really seen it before. I mean, you see 2 people on the news desk of a news show.
Yep.
Or you saw 2 people in sports booths at that time. That was a very common pairing.
Yeah. And they were all equivalent. There was not like a main host and sidekick or anything, right? Equal hosts, and they all sometimes did different segments. They were what made the show, I think, really so likable because they're so personable.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for me, the host that I globbed onto the most, or the one that I'm most associated with, of course, he was an athlete, so it was Fran Tarkington.
Oh, sure.
He was a former football player. He played at the University of Georgia. He had like almost 20 years in the NFL as a quarterback for the Vikings.
Oh,
He's in the Hall of Fame.
He could scramble like nobody else, man.
Oh, yeah. Targeting, and because you hear that name, Fran Tarkington, and the only way that name gets famous is by being a sports guy. Nothing else makes that name famous at all.
With a name like Smuckers, it's got to be good.
Exactly. I know they were all equal hosts. I really didn't feel like, though, that he was front and center or as polished as the other 2 were, because I think they came more from camera-ready backgrounds.
He probably wasn't as polished.
Yeah, they were all from show business.
When I started researching a little about him, I knew he was a football player. I never watched him play ball because I wasn't a big sports fan. But I'm like, how did I get a football player in here? But he was a commentator for Monday Night Football for a while.
Yeah.
He obviously had proven himself there that he can, anchor a show and that kind of thing.
That was very odd, though, because I didn't remember a lot of sports people being on variety shows.
Well, certainly not variety.
Yeah,
like
you
huge
saw him on Monday Night
hosts.
Football. You saw him on occasional game shows and stuff like that, but not
right. When you retire from football, you become a host for football if you have any personality.
Exactly.
You don't move on to other things usually. Yeah. Well, John Davidson was the other male host. He grew up, both of his parents were ministers. But he thought about becoming a minister. He pursued show business. He was in sitcoms. He was a game show host. And that was his path. So that's incredible.
You have to think he was probably the first hired of the group, right? Because he was their target type of host.
He really was. He probably was the most polished of them.
Yeah. I think it's what he did. I mean, he posted a whole bunch of game shows, and I think that was his niche,
Well, yeah,
exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, George is right. He probably was hired first, and he was probably informing the other people who were basically sports talent on how to host a show, and he gave them that strength.
I remember he had that feathered hairdo. That's what I remember about him, though.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It was just like that poofed out, like wind was blowing through it, even though they were inside a studio kind of hair.
Yeah.
It was perfect every time.
Yeah.
Not a hair out of place.
Just a complete feather shell, whatever
the hell that is.
Yeah.
Like defying gravity, like it's floating off of his scalp somehow.
Exactly.
Another athlete, Cathy Lee Crosby. Now, gorgeous actress. She was a professional tennis player.
Yep.
And then she went on to acting. I didn't realize this. She played Wonder Woman in a made-for-TV movie a year before Linda Carter nabbed the role for this series.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
I got to look that up. I want to see that.
I could see her being Wonder Woman.
I can too.
I could.
Yeah,
really. I'm going to go check that out now.
But she always, fashion was her thing. She would always have some wild, like a Donnie and Marie show, kind of like she would have a nice dress on, or she'd have like all suede or some leather or something. And her hair, you talked about big hair earlier, Mo. She always had the big blown out hairdo.
I remember too, for her, the big pantsuits. Like she wore those, like you were talking about the pleather, leather, or whatever.
Yeah, right.
And the
pleather.
shirt underneath
I haven't heard the word pleather in years. But the three of them worked really well together and riffed off of each other. Like, I don't know what their relationship was. I wasn't on the set, obviously. But they seemed to get along.
Yeah.
Sure.
They seemed to care about the people they were talking about, even if they were doing ridiculous crap.
So they could pull it off. Yeah.
They really could. And they contributed, definitely their charisma contributed to the legacy of this show. If you had people that just weren't, or you had one talent actor, then probably wouldn't have as good. The fact that you had this team that gelled so well and treated the material with respect made you care about what they were doing. And that's probably why it cemented its legacy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 40-year-old variety show, and we're still talking about it. So that goes to show you that it was something worked on the show.
You're doing something right.
No
doubt.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
This seemingly normal toy store is a popular place for local kids. There are those who claim that it's a favorite haunt of a very playful ghost. It's at night after closing time when the toy store becomes most haunted.
Could a ghost be lurking here in this irresistible playground? A psychic named Sylvia Brown believes she made contact with the ghost.
As he walked down the hall towards me, he kept saying, have mercy on me, Beth.
I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about some of the key things that you remember from the show, like segments. Like, I know we remember it fondly and just enjoy watching it, but things that we saw that stuck with us that we remembered. I remember ghost stories were a big deal. Paranormal, they dug into a lot.
Didn't they?
Yeah, I remember a specific one where there was a haunted Toys R Us.
Oh, yeah.
Which is great.
A haunted Toys R Us? That's awesome.
Toys R Us.
Exactly. And so they tried to reenact things. And so I thought this was hilarious. I went back and found it on YouTube. It's great. So they talk about the Toys R Us that's haunted. So now it's dark. Like, well, the ghost tends to appear during closing time when the store is closed. And they have a shot of like a stack of skateboards, and a skateboard like hops off and rolls across the table. And it says reenactment, like on the bottom it captions it.
Reenactment.
Did you think that I think you actually caught the skateboard ghost? Don't worry, reenactment. Don't get scared. They did that kind of cheesy stuff. That for that era was great.
Now, of course, these days all Toys R Us are haunted.
Haunted by the ghost of Jeffrey.
Yeah, I just love the reenactments were so cheesy.
In the best possible way.
They had some really great stuff on there. I remember this one guy that it was probably one of their early shows, because there's no way that as they went on 3-4 years that this segment would have made it onto one of the later shows, because it was too bland and basic. But they had one of those guys who laid on the bed of nails.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And then they crash the brick on his chest, you know.
Oh, man. If we got this far and you don't understand what That's Incredible is about, guy laying on bed of nails summarizes it. That's the kind of stuff they would do.
That's the epitome of it.
But they treated it so like, now everyone be careful. Don't try this at home.
Don't
He's
try
been
this at
training
home.
for
Don't do
years.
this yourself.
Yeah, they treat him like this super
And that
athlete.
was what was great about it. Like some of the segments, like what you were talking about, John, they were filmed segments that were outside of the studio audience.
Right.
But then some of them they did directly in front of the studio audience. So they had the bed of nails guy. The other guy that I remember that was one of those first gross out performances that I can remember as a child was a guy hammering the nail into his nose.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They did one of those, and I just remember my mother just like covering her eyes and screaming, and I was sitting there like just fascinated going, where the hell is that nail going?
Yes. Oh man. Oh, do you remember they did a bunch of segments on like amazing kids that were doing
kids that were like talented.
Yeah.
He's an amazing pianist, or whatever he can do. Right, something you wouldn't expect.
So the one I remember most is they had Tiger Woods on there.
No way.
When he was like 5 years old, he was a little kid.
In 80, he was 5 years old.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, I didn't realize he was that. I thought he was much younger than that.
Oh no, he's in his 40s now.
Huh. And his dad was on with him, and they had footage of him out on the golf course. Yeah.
Wow. Because they said at that age he could almost par a regular course.
Damn.
Yeah. And they showed him like teeing off, and he's teeing off. I was like, holy crap, he tees up better than I do now.
They always, of these amazing athletes, they do those documentaries about their life story and how they got to be great.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible clip is absolutely going in that documentary.
Oh, you know it's going in the life and times of Tiger Woods. That's right. Yep. I remember there was a big deal then. Obviously, this is early 80s. They did a segment about a guy who could solve a Rubik's Cube fast.
Oh, right. Yeah, because that wasn't a big... Nope, not a lot of people could do it at that point.
Exactly. Well, the internet wasn't around, so unless you figured it out yourself, which you're a liar, or you bought the book, which I did.
Which is most people.
Right.
That was when I was trying to master the Rubik's Cube, and I remember being there like, oh, if I can master the Rubik's Cube, I could be on That's Incredible. Self-delusional. But they didn't treat it like, here's this nerd learning how to solve a toy. He's like, this guy's a genius. And look what I love that they treated everybody like they were at the top of their game and they deserved to be highlighted, which was awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing how many things they had on there that would today is like commonplace, I guess. But back then, like you said, like solving Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, yawn.
One they had on there, I remember, which really just blew me away at the time I saw it, was they had bungee jumping. And at the time, it was a bunch of guys who did this off a bridge. And it was like, these daredevils are doing this thing and blah, 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 blah.
And they probably were, because back then it was probably really just rubber bands tied to their feet.
Yeah. Nobody had ever done it before. Nobody ever did it before. And they were just doing a bunch of it. And for some reason, I remember this one because my dad's like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And now, of course, it's like people do it.
Now it's an amusement park.
Pay to do it.
And how easy it would be to make fun of that. Look, these guys fell off a bridge. That's incredible. Right. But it really is like the preparation and the equipment.
Yeah.
And like they treat it so great.
And also they talk about like, oh, if the thing is too long, they could die. If this is done, they could die. And
exactly. Right.
Well, maybe that was the throughput of everything. They had all these outlandish, crazy things, but they treated them with a serious, reverential tone instead of a pandering, let's make fun of this dummy type of stuff.
What they never did, right? And if ever there was someone to make fun of, another segment I absolutely remember, they had a guy who ate a bicycle.
A bicycle. I remember that one. And it took the whole show.
Right. In tons of little pieces.
How did it not?
You're right.
Because they showed a little bit at the beginning.
A bicycle. Yeah.
So what did he do with the frame? Like he chopped it up or something ahead of time? And
it was like ground down to little like pellets or something. Yeah, it'd been to a grinder, but the entire bicycle he consumed. Yeah.
Which again, it's like, why?
What's the point? Yeah.
Well, that's how you get on. That's incredible, apparently.
Yeah, that's true.
And you know, that probably is like a season 3 or season 4 guy. And
right.
you saw the show, it's like, what can I do to get on That's Incredible? I know, I'll eat a freaking bicycle. That'll put me on the show.
He's talking to the producer. Have you ever had a guy that eats a bicycle? That's my in.
Well, you know, and he probably like had one of those strip mall talent agents, you know, that got him the gig. Like out of The Office. I was just watching that the other day where Andy gets himself a talent agent in a strip mall. And oh, yeah.
All right. You need to be in LA on Wednesday and you're eating a bike.
Yep.
They had this other one, which I remember. It's like, as we're talking about this, like these things are popping in my head. They had a person who cut hair upside down. Now, the people were right side up. She was upside down, cutting hair.
The hairstylist was upside down?
Yeah.
For
why?
what?
It made no sense. It made no sense.
You know, there's no way this is the same show in 2020 that it was in 1980.
Oh,
it's not possible.
No.
Now it's still popular now, but it's popular for a whole different reason than it would be back then.
We are way too mean-spirited now. Now it would be a making fun of people show.
Yeah.
It'd be Jackass, right? It'd be
yeah, it would be.
That's ignorant would be the name of the show.
That's really stupid. Yeah. One I remember, for some reason, it was like one of these ones that sort of creeped me out. They had one where there's like a hill that seemed to defy gravity. People would drive to it, put the car in neutral, and the cars would drive up the hill.
We talked about that.
That's actually in Florida.
Yes, we talked about that in the Roadside Attractions episode.
Yes,
that's right. And it was on. I had forgotten it was on. That's
Incredible.
It's called Spook Hill in Lake Hamilton, Florida.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. And I've been there. I've rolled tires up that hill. You bet.
Oh, really? I have not done it yet. It's on my bucket list. I'm going to do that just because it'd be
You
weird.
should. Well, when you're ready for a road trip, I'll go. I know right where it's at.
We'll film it, and we'll call it Gen X is Incredible, and then it'll be a new YouTube series.
TaxAct filing software and live tax experts can help small businesses easily knock out their taxes. Actually, our experts can help you find deductions and credits for any sized business. Itty-bitty businesses, medium-sized, really big, mid-sized, small businesses, companies with 0 employees, and mom-and-pop conglomerates. Yep, our tax experts can help all of them. TaxAct. Let's get them over with.
This is Eldrick Tiger Woods, and Eldrick is an accomplished golfer. He wins tournaments on a regular basis and has shot close to par on 18-hole courses. Incredibly, Tiger here is only 5 years old.
On the tee, we have the 9 o'clock starting group, the youngest contestant ever. He's 5 years old, Eldrick Tiger Woods.
That's Incredible has had a pretty long-lasting impact on pop culture and relevance. When it was on the air, when it first started, in fact, in 1980, Time magazine named That's Incredible the most sadistic show on TV.
What?
Oh my God, they see nothing yet.
First of all, Time magazine needs to check themselves because they were putting out those Time Life books at that same time. I just watched a commercial on that crap about, read the book all that. So they were doing this kind of stuff in book form. They just didn't want the competition. I think that's what it was.
Well, and That's Incredible wasn't making people do it. It's not like they were forcing somebody to eat a bike. They were like, you want to, they just gave you a platform to show the world you could do that.
Yeah. I need to get on that show. I know. I'll eat a bicycle.
I remember too that toward the end of the run of That's Incredible, directly connected to us in 1983, they hosted the North American Video Game Challenge that was done by Twin Galaxies, the guys that, that keep all the high scores.
I did not know that.
They did part of the competition on the show.
Huh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's right.
That's incredible.
Back then, a video game challenge was unheard of, and Twin Galaxies was very, very fledgling. But now it's the universal holder of all high scores, and it got a lot of its recognition coming right through on That's Incredible.
You know what that segment had to be like, though, right? As families are watching that show, like my family on Sunday night, it had to be the kids going, "That's awesome," and the parents, "Oh, this is so stupid. Video games are never going to last."
No, they won't last. You can't make a living playing games ever.
Yep,
ever.
See, I can get on TV, Mom and Dad, for playing Galaga.
Now I don't have to eat a bike. It's great.
You guys remember when that Poltergeist, the movie, came out, the original one?
Oh yeah.
It was supposed to be based on real life,
right?
Real haunting, right?
Apparently, the couple that is based on things like Steve and Diane Friedling, they said they didn't want to appear either on 60 Minutes, which or That's Incredible. I'm like, those are two in the same category.
Do you think your haunted house is going to make 60 Minutes?
Yeah, it's like, we're not comparing on 60 Minutes or That's Incredible.
Right.
If there's something in between that wants to talk to us, maybe.
But we'll do a movie. That's okay.
Yeah,
we'll be on those shows.
That's like, I don't want to be on Iron Chef or Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. I don't want to be...
The food, right? They're on TV.
Yeah.
Well, after That's Incredible was canceled, not too many years later, there was a spinoff called Those Amazing Animals that pretty much was kind of a copy of That's Incredible, but it was specifically, and animals were featured on That's Incredible, but this was just animal tricks.
Yeah, they had plenty, a ton of animal stuff.
Yeah, they did. So this was just that.
Did they do the same hosts or?
No, it wasn't. It was hosted Priscilla Presley, Jim Stafford, and Burgess Meredith.
What, the Penguin?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep.
No, he's Rocky's trainer. That's not the Penguin.
He's the
That's
Penguin.
Rocky's trainer. No, that's Mickey.
Yes.
I don't care what you say. That's
It's
Mickey.
the Penguin.
Well, but think about his voice. Like, if you heard him narrate things before, think how good he would. I've never seen one of these amazing animals, but I can imagine him. Like, I won't try to do an impression, but imagine him describing this amazing penguin or whatever in that gravelly kind of friendly voice he's got. I can imagine that being cool.
And Jim Stafford, he was a famous country singer, I think, at the time. And Priscilla Presley, obviously, she was just married to Elvis.
She's famous for who she married.
To fame.
That's right. She's basically a Kardashian.
Right. Wow.
Ooh. Before there were Kardashians.
Right. If Kanye was the king. Right. Exactly.
Well, they did a revival too for one season. It was like in '88 that they did just like a one season, do once and done kind of thing.
Oh, right. Yeah. It was called Incredible Sunday. It was just they changed the name briefly, and it was different people again hosted. I think one of them stayed. Who stayed?
Davison stayed.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
And actually, they even brought, I think, Fran and Tarkin and the other, they brought them back for like just a single episode to kind of help do the little transition deal. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
just for the kiss off. You're out.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure who the other people were. It's like Christina, I was looking this up. Christina Ferrari. I'm not sure who that is, or Tracy Gold. I have no idea. I'm sorry to say.
In 2010, no secret that That's Incredible kind of led the way for these kind of cool variety shows. But Discovery Channel had a short series called Is It Possible? Oddly similar.
Okay. I assume the answer was yes.
Yeah, it featured people, animals, technology, and other things that are real but so unusual they seem impossible.
So the answer was always yes.
Right, exactly.
If somebody can eat a bike on television,
they can do it.
It's possible.
Yep.
Well, see, I would have liked that show if they would have done something. Said, guess what? It's not possible. And then make you wonder.
That seems like that would have been more your father's show than
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
been hosted by your dad. Is this possible? No. Turn the channel.
Move on.
Move on.
That Is It Possible was actually narrated by Robert Lee, who you recognize, not his name, but probably his voice. He was the guy that narrated the Mythbusters.
Oh, really? Cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
okay.
He was talking about Adam and Jamie are testing this thing out. So he narrated Is It Possible.
He was a great voice for that. Fantastic.
Yeah, so it wasn't so much host as it was a narrated piece with edited segments. So, but I never saw that. I'm going to look it up. It was only it was like a limited run, maybe 5 or 6 episodes. I think it was very brief.
Is it possible? It doesn't have the same ring.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
And what is probably one of the greatest kind of hat tips to That's Incredible's enduring legacy. So the Goldbergs, currently running show on TV, that is set in the 80s. It's in that era. And we see, Robert Englund has appeared on there as Freddy Krueger, so many great kind of retro nostalgic stuff. In season 1 of the Goldbergs, the mom was criticizing the dad who was watching it, saying, that show is stupid. And the dad responds, stupid? Is it stupid a baby can water ski? Is it stupid someone taught rats to play baseball? That's not stupid. That's incredible.
Rats that play basketball. I want to see that segment now.
That's
I want to see. Honest to God, that's my new Marbula One YouTube channel right now. I want to go find that.
Welcome back to the very first That's Incredible video game invitational. And here are the 3 players who won at the Iowa competition and are here now to compete.
Now, gentlemen, all of the machines at each station have been inspected by our referees and technicians to make sure they're identical. Our chief technician is Jim Armatrout from the Nintendo Company.
Our players have each been assigned a color, and if you're ready, okay? On your mark, get set, go!
If there was anything in this show you'd like to learn more about, the show notes which accompany each episode are full of links to click and explore. Catch up on past episodes and get pinged every time a new one's released by subscribing wherever you listen to podcasts. And iTunes reviews help more than you know, so if you haven't yet, please rate and review us in the iTunes app. And if you have a friend who isn't yet listening, why not? Tell them about us, they'll thank you later. You're our 4th listener, and we'd love to read your emails right here on the show, so hit us up at podcast@GenXGrownUp.com. And finally, Gen X Grown Up is more than just this podcast. Our YouTube channel has hundreds of videos ready for you to enjoy, plus you can find our entire body of work on GenXGrownUp.com. From its host to its legacy to its bananas bicycle eating, it's pretty obvious, and everything that's come after it. That's Incredible paved the way for all sorts of modern reality programs that find a way to showcase the extraordinary things that people do. Whether they treat it well or they make fun of it like a jackass or whatever. That's Incredible, for my money, was the one that did that first.
Yeah, I tell you, if you ever wanted to stick needles in your body or something like that, this show did it first.
Walk across hot coals or whatever.
You're just being repetitive now.
Just derivative.
That's all. That's a better word. Thank you.
Before we get out of the show, I would like to take a moment here at the end before we leave to give our express gratitude to all the folks that support us over on Patreon. These are patrons who give a couple of bucks a month to support all the things we do here on the podcast, over on YouTube, and on the website. And I'm thanking each and every one of you. Chet, Greg L, Davis, Blasted or Stash It, Greg Z, Marcus, John Pun H, Ben, Steven, Travis, Adam, Chad, Stu Monkey, Arlen, Levi, Tom J. Sorry, Tom J. Tom J. T2 Tony, Mike C, Slow Mo, Dan, Mark Stubaka, Dana Thomas, and Agile. Man, that list is getting long. Woo! I love when I run out of breath. That's so great. Oh, thank you so much, each and every one of you. If you would like to join this amazing roster of human beings, George, tell the fourth listeners how they can do it.
Well, there's no simpler way to say that we're incredible than by them going to GenXGrownUp.com/Patreon.
Nicely
Really
done.
nice.
I know,
Well
right?
done.
I'm good at this. I can do this. Go to GenXGrownUp.com/Patreon. Give us $1. You know, and we know that we love each other. Give us $2. We doubly love each other.
Yep.
Give us $3. You get to see some of that background, behind the scenes footage that the double love is all about. No, I'm just kidding. You get on up into that $10 range, and that's where you get some of that awesome Gen X Grown Up swag that we keep talking about and loving and hoping to send to you. So
I feel
please,
unclean.
we appreciate every
Forever unclean.
You've been in COVID-19 lockdown for 3.5 months, and this made
That's
you feel
true.
unclean? Okay.
Well, yeah, it was a little weird, but okay.
Yeah. Mo is eager to finally take a shower. He's waiting for
Yeah.
it. He's gonna
Oh, wait. We were allowed to take showers?
It's not that kind of quarantine.
Thank you so much for joining us for this backtrack. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another backtrack, and next week, the regular edition of our show. Until then, I'm John. George, thank you for being here.
Yes, sir.
Mo, you know I appreciate you.
Always fun, man.
Fourth listeners, though, it's you we appreciate most of all, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Take care, everybody.
No life, no fun. Don't you know that you're a grown-up?
Gen X Grown Up is a member of the Evergreen Podcast family. Learn more at evergreenpodcasts.com.
Watching shows till sunrise. Unacceptable for grown-ups. Your dinner cannot just be French fries. Basically, life sucks as a grown-up.
I can't wait till I can 3D print something better for my microphone arm. That's
right?
awesome.
No kidding. Yeah, you infectious motherfucker. I keep browsing. Oh, I want to build that bolt and nut. For what?
Okay.
3, 2, 1. That's
incredible.
Incredible.
Yeah, we're not synced up at
That's
all.
not good. No.
We're like people, like one of us drove from Hawaii to see the show. The other one came from Alaska. We have nothing in common vernacularly whatsoever.
That's incredible, too.
I can sync it up in post. It's fine.
There's no way you're syncing that up in post.
That's incredible. Is sad. 5,
It's sad. It's
4,
sad.
3.
This episode is brought to you by FX's Love Story, John F. Kennedy Jr. and Carolyn Bessette. Join host Evan Ross Katz on the official podcast for FX's new series, Love Story, John F. Kennedy Jr. and Carolyn Bessette, and go behind the scenes with cast and special guests, featuring Sarah Pigeon, Paul Anthony Kelly, Grace Gummer, and Naomi Watts. FX's Love Story, John F. Kennedy Jr. and Carolyn Bessette, wherever you listen to podcasts.